There are profound values to be found even in the technical interpretations of our sages. In our Torah portion this week, we read of punishment that's meted out against the sinners within the biblical law. And one of those punishments is lashes. And the Torah says, Arba'im yakenu, that a person is to be lashed 40 times. And there's a debate in the Talmud as to whether the 40 actually means 40, or there's an interpretation that means the number that leads to 40, which means really 39. There's a debate as to when the Torah says 40, whether it's 40 or one less. And the sage Rava in Tractate Makot says that what people stand, he doesn't understand, people stand for a Torah scroll when it passes by, but they don't stand for a scholar, for a Gavra Rabbah, for a great person. Because in the Torah it says 40, but how great is the power of interpretation that can bring 40 down to 39? And the question is asked, why is this described as a great act? This act of interpretation, which changes the number essentially of the Torah from 40 to 39. Why is that a great act? And specifically, why in this case? Because we have another example of this in that the Torah says Chamishim Yom, 50 days is the period between Passover and Shavuot, and the rabbinic interpretation is that doesn't really mean 50, it means 49, but that's not described as an act of greatness, that interpretation of diminishing the Torah's number by one. The Admor Me'ostrovsa, the great Hasidic master, offered the interpretation that greatness in this case is found not in the mathematics of the interpretation, but in the sensitivity, in the compassion of the interpretation, because what effectively the interpretation has done in bringing the number 40 of the lashes down to 39 has been to diminish suffering of another human being. And when someone does that, whether it's through interpretation or through any other means, that indeed is the sign of a Gavra Rabbah, of a truly great human being. Stay healthy, stay well, and stay connected.